The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, please visit our website at dallasgenealogy.org. You guys let me know when it's 10 o'clock or when it's 11 o'clock. Is it 10 p.m.? All right. Y'all got quiet for a reason. It's time to have a meeting. Good morning. Welcome. I'm Tony Hansen, president of the Dallas Genealogical Society, and I welcome all you who have joined us here at the J. Eric Johnson Library and those of you who have joined us on Zoom. I have lots of stuff to talk about today. And we're actually going to do it as soon as I get it to advance. There we go. I'd like to welcome our newest board member. So Courtney Barnes has joined the leadership team, and she's taken over as our director of marketing. And we're just kind of getting her on board and included in. But Courtney, welcome. That rounds out our leadership team. And so we already talked about the executive committee. I was president. Sharon Bowles is vice president, and she's up at the Hispanic conference this morning. That's why she's not here. Terry Turner is secretary. Susan Rainwater is back as our director of finance. Todd Dedecker is filling in the immediate past president. And Melissa Fleming is our director of information technology. We also have directors and administrators with voting rights. And so Kim Edge is back as our director of membership. As I mentioned, Courtney is our director of marketing. Pat Hernandez is our volunteer coordinator. Carol Rourke is our director at large. We're very lucky to have her. Barbara Coakley is back as seminar administrator. Todd is also doing double duty as the webmaster. Sue Gover-Lee is our general meeting administrator, and Michelle Cohen is our newsletter administrator. Rounding things out, we have our library liaison. Stephanie Bennett's back in that. Linda Harrison is our National Genealogical Society delegate, and Cheryl Freeman is our Texas State Genealogical Society delegate. And last but not least, our SIG leaders. So Brenda Cannon runs the African American group. Liz Coots is heading up our best practice in our Jewish group. Mick Barnett and Jean Larson are leading the DNA group, and Ann Breuer and Bernard Meisner are heading up the German group. So by our bylaws at this point, I need to have a vote to approve all of the directors and everybody. So we need to do a quick quorum check. So Todd, if you would run the poll on Zoom, I'd ask those of you that are attending to indicate whether or not you're members. And can I just see a show of hands here? How many of you are DGS members currently? Okay, so there are 11 of us here. So we need 10 more on Zoom to hit our quorum level of 21. Okay, then you can shut that down. That's good enough. So we've reached a quorum. So I would ask for somebody to please make a motion to approve the leadership team as I just indicated. And you are Carolyn Simpson. Okay, can I have a second on that? Susan Rainwater, second that. All in favor say aye. And anybody opposed can so indicate by saying nay. Thank you. We are now legal. Thank you very much for that. Legal or condemned, whatever you want to say. I have also just completed the annual report for the society, and that is available on the website. So if you go to our website and click on About, Society Leaders, and President, you'll see that there is a 2023-24 annual report over there, and you can just go through and read everything that we did last year. It was a pretty good year for us. And all the previous annual reports are available there too. They make interesting reading. It's a good historical footprint. Our previous meeting minutes from our September meeting are available on the website. And again, if you go to events and the next general meeting, you'll see down there, there's a place where you can read the meeting minutes and watch the recording of it. Are there any additions, corrections to the meeting minutes as posted? Okay, hearing none, those will stand as submitted. Thank you, Terry. Our treasurer has submitted our status of our finances, and we're in pretty good shape. We've got 28,000 and some change in checking. That's kind of our working account, a little bit over 54,000 in savings, and our investment of 100,000. So we continue to be financially in very good shape, and just looking for a good reason to spend some money on the library for a good cause up there, which we're working on. Our primary way for raising money, as you know, is holding our 3 annual seminars, and we just had a very successful one with Blaine Bettinger. Almost successful. We had a little trouble getting Blaine in town. The storm messed up his travel plans, and he was not able to join us here as planned. But we went ahead. He did it via Zoom, and it was a pretty good event. We had 147 people who paid. We had 72 that were on Zoom and 42 here at the library, and all the feedback so far has been really positive. So we're happy about it. It was really informative and really a lot of fun, I thought. So well done to everybody who helped put that on. And you can still register to watch the recordings. So if you missed an opportunity to see it and you haven't yet registered, hop on our website, and the recordings will be available through October 13th. Blaine's very generously let us keep them online for 2 weeks following the event. We also participated in the North Texas Giving Day campaign again this year. Our goal was to raise money to support our continuing support of the newspaperarchive.com and historygeo.com. And we're paying presently about $6,500 a year to do that. We raised a little bit over half the money through the North Texas Giving Day event, a little bit, about 53%. We had 35 donations, 33 unique donors, and we're grateful to each and every one of them. And we will take some of that money we got sitting in our checking account and make up the difference and pay for that again this year. So a successful event, and we'll try it again next year. We have a cemetery indexing project going on. We have a large cemetery database, large collection of information, and we are going back through those 41,742 records and adding links to the online, which is databases, Find the Grave and Million Graves. And so it's a nice, fun little project. It's easy to do. I'll get you to the instructions in a second, but we're about 3% done. So we just started that last month. I want to thank Megan Dobbins, who was our top indexer the last month. She did 150 records, but Don Hinson, Gayla Bush, Melissa Fleming, Susan Younger, and Audrey Lindsay all contributed to this month's activity. And again, we thank you for that. It's a purely online effort. If you go to our website and go to Get Involved, you'll see that there is a 2024 Cemetery Indexing Project link that you can click on. There's several videos that you watch just to kind of learn how to do it, and you're off and running. You can just grab a handful of those records, look up the URLs for us, paste them in, and go on. Once you get good at it, takes less than a minute to do each one, and we'd love to have more volunteers and put your name up at the top of the list next month. We'll just keep track of that every month. We talked last month about some proposed bylaw changes, and we added one additional thing to it, and we did formally adopt this at the last board meeting, so the clock is ticking on this. And so next month, we'll be voting on these bylaw changes, but I just want to review the ones we talked about last month and the one additional change we've made to that. What we're doing is we're eliminating term limits for the office of president. Right now, you can be president for 2 terms, and then you got to go. We would like to lift that. We're going to eliminate the requirement for prior board service for the president. It's preferred. We certainly want to have somebody who's been around for a while, but if it comes down to it, we want to remove that as a roadblock, if you will. We're clarifying the circumstances for the end of terms in office just to kind of ease the transition period like we just went through. Basically, the board ended, at the end of September, or at the end of August, and we had to go through what we just went through. This just kind of smooths that out a little bit and ensures we have some continuity from old board to new board. And the change that we're just adding is we're going to eliminate a position, the Director of Publication Content. And I'll go through all of these. So currently, Section 5.3 talking about qualifications for serving as an officer of the society, should be officer, not office. And we're just going to simplify that. So it's going to be the proposed change. It's going to read, each officer must be a member in good standing of the society. Prior service as an officer or director of the society is desirable, but not required for the office of president. That we've just replaced the verbiage in that one paragraph. And this is no change. The officer shall hold only one elected position at a time. So that's the proposed new Section 5.3. Article 7, we want to change that one. Well, actually, we're not going to change it, but we're just going to add this verbiage. So each member of the executive committee will remain in office until, and there's 4 things. A, the installation of a duly elected or appointed replacement assumes responsibilities for that position, or resignation, or removal of office as outlined from Section 9.6, or the completion of all steps required for the dissolution of the society as outlined in Article 17. So we're just adding that verbiage to that Article 7. The third change, the last change is to eliminate the position of the Director of Publication Content. So this is the current description of it, and we're just going to replace it and say the position was eliminated in 2024. Now, history behind that. We've had this position for a little bit over 10 years. At the time it was created, we did 3 paper publications. We had a journal, we had Pegasus, and we were printing a newsletter. We don't do the journal, we don't do Pegasus, and the newspaper is now all electronic. So this need for this position has really gone away. It has been vacant for about half the time that it has existed, and all of the functions that it really was designed to do have been absorbed by other officers. And so it's just kind of bad form to have a vacant position, year over year over year, especially when it's not needed. And so our recommendation is, as I said, to eliminate that position. So those are the changes that the board voted on, and it's approved formally. We have published it now in the newsletter. We've talked about it here. We'll come back next month and we will ask for a formal vote on that and to make those permanent. Any comments or questions on that from anybody either online or here at the library? Okay, hearing none. Again, if you have anything, just send me email or send email to info@dallasgenealogy.org so we make sure we get it. Contact any board member and we'll be happy to discuss that further with you. We have, as you know, several active SIG groups, and so we have an online calendar we can go to get information about what's going on. So if you hit, calendar and then special interest groups, it'll show you what is happening. This month we have the Jewish group is meeting on the 17th. They meet at 10:30 in the morning, generally up on the 8th floor at the McDermott Room. The African American group is meeting at the 19th. They meet on the 8th floor in the McDermott Room as well this month, I guess. I think that's right. Check the calendar to be sure, but they meet at 2 p.m. And then the best practices group is meeting on the 26th, and they meet in the 6th floor in classroom D. And I believe that one was also broadcast via Zoom. But again, please check the calendar because that does change a bit. You'll get the most recent information there. The Family History Day at the library is going to be happening on October 18th. That's an all-day event. They run a series of presentations. I think they've got about 8 of them that are going to be going, and 7 presentations, excuse me. And then you can see their website for all the full information. We're going to be there. We're going to have a table. We do this every year where we're just able to answer, any questions about genealogy or DNA or anything that anybody has that's there. And that'll be from 9 till 5. If any of you are interested in helping staff the table, I'd sure be happy to hear from you. We're starting to do more of these kinds of things. So we'd like to have a few more people besides the ones that we keep using all the time to help represent the society at events like that. So if you're interested, please let me know and we'll get you officially part of our our booth staffing table. Speaking of that, we are taking part of the 44th annual Texas Hispanic Genealogical Historical Conference going on this weekend. So that's where Kim Edge and Sharon Bowles are right now. I was over there yesterday. It's when the event started. And so they're up there representing the society and answering lots of questions about people who, much to my dismay, didn't know we existed. I keep people, I didn't know Dallas had a genealogy. Yeah. So a lot of them do now. And again, if you're interested in helping out with things like this and you want to be part of that team, let me know. We'd love to have a few more people get involved in covering those types of things. We've got several really nice seminars planned coming up next year. So on March 15th and 16th, we're going to have some representatives from the Ulster Historical Foundation here, come all the way from Ireland. And so they're going to be doing the seminar on Saturday, the normal seminar format. They're also going to be back here on Sunday, and they'll be doing individual consultations. Now, it's a fee-based thing, but we haven't worked out the cost yet, but it's going to be a fairly modest fee. But you can spend 20 or 25 minutes with them, and they'll help you work on any issues or any questions you have about your Irish genealogy. Now, they're from Northern Ireland, but they have a lot of information about the entire the Irish Republic as well as Northern Ireland. It was one country for quite a while. They have a lot of the same record sets. So don't think that they're just experts in Northern Ireland. They know it all. I had the opportunity to meet these people just before the pandemic. Kathleen went over and took a 1-week seminar over there in Northern Ireland, and she was just so impressed by how much they know and the resources they have. So this is a real rare opportunity to have them right here in Dallas and to be able to have some time to actually sit down and let them help you with your questions. So keep your calendar marked for that in March. On the 16th, we're going to have Colina Robledo Green here talking about tracing your Mexican ancestors on both sides of the border. We got a lot of interest about that at the conference yesterday and again today. And then in the fall, we're going to have Gina Thorburn Ortega here talking about discovering more about our woman ancestors. So keep your calendars free and hope to see you at those events. Again, remember all these events are hybrid, so you can come to the library and join us here. I hope you do, but you can watch it at home via Zoom with your bunny slippers on, or you can watch the recordings afterwards. So we got you covered. No excuses. Next month, we're going to have Janice Lovelace talking to us about lunacy and asylums, mental health in the 19th century. And in December, we're going to have John Slate, our Dallas City archivist, talking about the records that the city of Dallas has and the fun things that you can discover there. So I'm about to shut up here, but I just want to give a shout out to our great tech team. I see Jordan Bach from the library is just stepping in here, does a great job with our audio and visual stuff. Thank you, Jordan. Kim Edge, Paul Feather, Todd Dedeker, all great people that handle the hospitality and just the whole Dallas Public Library. We appreciate that very much. So with that, I'm going to ask Sue to come up here and introduce today's speaker, who is here in person, Kim Richardson, and I'm going to get her presentation pulled up, I hope. And you've got a microphone? Good. This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you're already a member, thank you. Your fees have been supporting these and other society activities. If you're not yet a member, please consider joining now. Go to dallasgenealogy.org and click on the membership tab.